Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. This is your Junior Hockey Morning Show. Today is Monday, March 13th, 2023. You can find us on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, in your living room, on your phone, in your car. Hope that you had a good weekend and been watching the playoff races around the country, different leagues. But today we're going to focus on the North American Hockey League Central Division. Year after year, the NAHL Central Division manages to make a case for itself as the best developmental opportunity within the league. The 2023 season has proven to be one of the most competitive ever. Only 9 points currently separate second place St. Cloud from sixth place Bismarck. And there's really any advantage, except maybe financial, when it comes to securing home ice for being one of the top two teams. Austin is the only team, 15-7-1-1, more than 3 games over 500 at home this season. So we should look for plenty of fireworks and surprises in the playoffs as well. That's just life in the Central Division, isn't it? Let's run down these guys. Number 1 is the Austin Bruins, 3-1, 31-13, 3-4, with 69 points. They have a 12-point lead over St. Cloud in the division. Steve Howard's Bruins now have a 12-point hold on the division's top seed, with just 9 games remaining in the regular season. That's astonishing considering that Austin has split 7 of the last 8 series played. That was the case this past weekend's set of games at Aberdeen. Should we expect more of the same when Bismarck visits Riverside Arena this week? That's interesting that Howard's team is doing so well considering that they have had series split in all these series, 7 of the last 8. That says a lot. They had a really fast start earlier in the season, but in this division, here's your perfect example. Anything can happen on any given night. You have to bring your A game every single night in this group here. Number 2, St. Cloud Norsemen, 25-19, 3-4, 57 points. Corey Milne and the Norsemen held Bismarck to a single goal in 2 games while sweeping the visiting Bobcats. 5-3-1-1 in the last 10 games. St. Cloud is trying to hold off a red-hot North Iowa group that's gunning for the second seed. The Norsemen visit Minot this weekend and can't afford to lose any ground. Corey Milne's back on the bench, keeping us cool, and this team looks good. The problem is North Iowa's playing a little bit better. They're, a game ahead of St. Cloud in the last 10 games. The Norsemen cannot afford to give up any more ground and must hold court or hold the serve here going into the last 10 games of the year. This division's crazy. St. Cloud can still find themselves in last place at last pedal. You have to go to Minot and take care of business, and that won't be an easy task. Speaking of the North Iowa Bulls, number 3, 26-21, 2-1, 55 points. Todd Sandin's Bulls were stampeding at just the right time with 6 wins in the last 7 games after the weekend road sweep at Minot. North Iowa has the chance to put a bit of space between themselves and Aberdeen when the Wings visit Mason City Arena this weekend. That's going to be an epic series. Both teams are tied at 55 points for 3rd and 4th place. Minot's 5 points behind them. This is the one right now. This series is very important, and it's not going to be easy for either team to come out of that series with an advantage. Speaking of Aberdeen, the Wings are 25-23-2, 55 points. Scott Langer's Wings have a 5-point cushion between themselves and Minot in the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th playoff season in the division. The weekend home split with Austin was all but predictable. 2 great coaches, leaving us all excited about the weekend's trip to North Iowa. Again, if I had to put Scott Langer and Todd Sandin in the room and guess who was going to win, I'm going to pick Scott Langer every single time. He just has the experience. But this series is going to be in Mason City. The Bulls are tough to beat there, and it'll be a challenge for the Wings to come out of there with a pair of wins. Number 5, Minot, 24, 1-1, back to 500 with 50 points. Cody Campbell's Minotauros are back to 500 after getting swept at home by North Iowa. Now a full 5 points behind Aberdeen and the Bulls. The Toros are going to need a lot of help to make up that much ground in the last 10 games of the season. St. Cloud visits this week with every intention of skating out of town with max points. This is it. This is their opportunity. Minot kind of stubbed themselves in the foot last weekend, but they have to have a better result this weekend against St. Cloud or face the reality of being done for the year. Number 6, Bismarck Bobcats, 21, 23, 4-2. Langston Neve and the Bobcats gave the Norsemen hell Saturday night in St. Cloud. Losing 1-0 in that game sent a message to the rest of the division. The Bobcats are not going to make it easy for any opponent in any of the season's last 10 games. Look at life in the Central has always been this way. Well, not always. There's been times we've had trouble or one team that was far below everybody else, but this year, everybody's on their game. No one is out of it yet. Bismarck's pretty close to being out of it, but really even they can come back and make a mess of things. So in this group, there are no nights off. Like we said before, 100 times before today, we've been saying it all season, been saying it for years. This division is not one to take lightly. And that's why college coaches continue to look at the Central Division for their skilled players and for guys that can handle the pressure of an intense game in, night out. The South Division is better for physical players. The East Division is good for those Eastern guys who pay for the school. But this South Division and the Midwest probably as well are two of the best divisions in the NAHL. The playoffs are going to be interesting. We're really in it now, aren't we? Every game is a playoff game from here on out for a lot of these teams, especially in this Central Division. That's it for today, folks. We hope that you enjoy your morning coffee.